And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Today
What
we have a very special guest. It is yours truly, Jake from
special?
State Farm. And today we have a very special guest, a woman who's going to be competing in December for American Fight Promotions. Please help me welcome in the tough queen, the goddess, the amazing one herself, Miss Becca Spivey. How's it going, Becca?
It's going good. You can also call me a bully because I got my nickname as being a bully. So, but I'm nice. At the same time, I think I'm nice.
I mean,
Yeah,
from the conversation that we just had just a little bit ago, I think you're nice.
yeah.
I think you're nice.
I'm I'm nice. I think I got it because I would talk a lot of trash, especially with the guys. And my thought process was, you would feel more comfortable hitting a girl if I told you you hit like a Care Bear. So, you know,
That's crazy.
it goes. It works.
It's like with me
Yeah.
though. It's like the reason why I have to say it's Jake from State Farm is because it's like 2 decades now. It's like ever since that commercial's been out. It's like if I tell them, oh, you can just call me Jake instead of Jacob, and then I hear, well, where Jake from State Farm? I'm like, please shut up. Just please shut up.
Yeah. The natural response
I
makes sense.
mean, the way I would say it is, I'd be like, well, unfortunately, I'm pulling a SpongeBob because I ripped my own khakis. So, so let's go ahead and get started
All right.
because we're having a little cheesy moment over here for sure. But
Yeah.
we all get inspired by what we do best. Me when it comes to interviewing, and you when it comes to fighting. So, what inspired you to start fighting?
Actually, I used to be around 300 pounds. Just over is my heaviest. And I I was talking, it all happened within a couple days of each other. I was talking with a coworker about movies, and Here Comes the Boom had come out. So we're talking about that, and I thought it was funny. And they asked if I'd seen a real fight, like cage fight, and I didn't know it existed. And so I was like, all right, so they got me into kind of watching. And that's also the time I started trying to take my health serious, lose weight. And I was told you should do more cardio, but cardio is boring. So I started taking a boxing class just to get cardio in. And then I saw my first smoker, and I was like, I think I can do that. And so it was one of those, being in the local scene and like being around it got me more motivated and pushed me. So it's kind of an unconventional, maybe, path to fighting. But yeah.
I mean, it's really incredible considering the fact that I mean, you first you're struggling with weight issues, but I mean, talk about the journey of trying to be able to lose all that weight in the first place.
Not easy. I've learned food is my coping mechanism. A lot of people will turn to whatever for stress. For me, it was food. Um,
Yeah.
my mom, I grew up in a pretty healthy household. Like my mom was very much on it with that. So when I moved away for college and I could have Dr. Pepper with every meal and soft serve ice cream pretty much whenever, I gained that freshman 100, and it kind of stayed there. And so it's just one of those, like, I'd be stressed out. Hey, Carl's Jr. is down the way, or like Taco Bell, whatever. And so even within that, the learning nutrition wise, but then also the discipline within working out. Like working out is easy, to be honest. Once you get in the habit of it, it's just learning the nutritional things. And for me, it really was, once I set this goal of I want to fight, like I want to have an amateur fight. I'm not going to be able to have a fight at the time that I very first started getting serious. I was like 260 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm not fighting at 260. Like there's no girls fighting that heavy at all. So it was like I wanted to get to a good weight class. And so kind of having that goal outweighed any kind of excuse that I could make for myself in the moment of like, man, I want to order some Papa John's, but I want to do this more. And so that kind of mind shift change, and like again just learning my own triggers for wanting to turn to food and just veg out and stuff like that. And yeah.
I mean, and I definitely want to get you to talk about this though. As I mean, you saw your first smoker.
Yeah.
While you was trying to lose this weight, did you ever had any fighters looking up that you just like idolized the fact that you wanted to be a part of the sport?
um my main one early on, was Holly Holm. I like her fighting style, especially like her in like her earlier, UFC days and her heydays, and when she upset everyone with the Ronda Rousey. I remember I was the only one rooting for Holly Holm in the B dubs that I was watching, and like everyone else was like, when Holly was walking out, I was clapping, and there's like two other people clapping. Other people were booing, and then Ronda Rousey comes out, they all erupted, and I'm just like, you'll see. And so she was a big one just to watch because she's fun. She seems so down to earth. Same with like Misha Tate. I really enjoyed watching her. And then now with Shevchenko, and I'm excited for Nunez to come back with Kayla Harrison. I think that's going to be an enjoyable fight, hopefully.
Yeah, oh my
But
gosh, yeah, that is definitely gonna be a fantastic stuff. And I couldn't imagine like going to that B Dubs during a time when Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm was fighting. It's like
yeah,
I could sense the hatred from all the Ronda Rousey fans. It's kind of look back crazy to look back on
hmm,
that fight. It was just like everybody rooted for Rousey because it was like
yeah,
she was the champion at the time, and Holly Holm she was the underdog. And I will say this: I never
yeah,
seen a fight where everybody rooted the champion over the challenger because they
right.
didn't think that Holly Holm would be in Ronda Rousey's league at that time.
Right. I think a lot of people underestimated Holly's takedown defense because everyone knew Ronda's gonna get you to the ground. She's gonna more than likely armbar you. And I believe her fight right before that was against Betch Correa. I can't pronounce her last name correctly, but she knocked her out. And so I think Ronda got in her head of, oh, I do have knockout power. And there was a whole bunch of that. She's like, oh, I can't stand with Holly. you know, for me, it was a beautiful fight.
It was like a phenomenal fight because and I that's pretty much you would want to say pioneers of the UFC as far as women
Hmm.
fighting in the UFC. I mean, outside of
Yeah.
that, you talked about it, Misha Tate. You also got to think about Kat Zingano. She's another good one
Hmm.
too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like we're seeing women doing so many things because now at the time women wasn't allowed to fight in MMA or doing crazy things like they are. And now
Right.
looking back as far as a decade later, women are doing incredible things. If you guys are under a rock or in a
Oh,
cave, I mean, this year, I think it was earlier
it's
this year, women got a chance to headline a women's only event for MVP at Madison
mhm,
Square Garden live on Netflix.
right. Like it's been interesting to watch, and I've told people a lot of times because they'll say they don't care to watch the female fights, which I say you just don't understand fighting. Maybe then I don't know, but but I feel like that Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate, the early female UFC days, I'll relate it back to those middle UFC days in general with like Chuck Liddell and all them, where you had a lot of guys that they're very strong in one area and they're good enough in the others. And now we're seeing in the light of again Kayla Harrison, Amanda Nunez, Rose, Whaley, all of them. They're much more well-rounded fighters, and it's kind of in a sense they've been behind a few steps, just like you said, because it hasn't been around for females as long. And so I think it's exciting.
It definitely is a very exciting time too. And of course, another thing that's what I love about is the fact that amateurs like yourself are gonna get a chance to do incredible things. Which for people who's like, oh, why are we talking about amateurs? Because for one, it is a start. It is a start to a
Yeah.
possibly a beautiful career. Some people would definitely just quit in about a fight or two, but yet I can tell
Hmm.
like you take this very passionately from the moment that you first started
Yeah.
to where you are now. And we'll talk about your fight here in a bit. But of course, my next question is though is that you currently train at World Kickboxing Academy. Talk about how much they've helped you out ever since you joined them.
A lot. I actually, so just over a year or so ago, I moved. So my original gym that I very first started at is Griffin Raw out in Menor under Jason Dent. So like that team and that gym is the ones that really built my foundation and
Yeah.
everything. And then it just happenstance of life moved. And so we would cross train with World Kickboxing Academy. And when I looked at it, I was like, I'm closer to this gym now. I wouldn't be able to train like I wanted to if I stayed there. So I talked to Jason, my coach at the time, and we kind of just had a conversation. And I talked, right, so we're all good and we're cordial. And so I still will go out there to cross train with him from time again. But the switch to World Kickboxing Academy has been honestly amazing. The fight team is phenomenal. We just had two guys win um, the WKA international titles for the weight classes up in Canada. And yeah, one of our guys, he's heading to Abu Dhabi in November to fight for Waco for the international stuff.
Wow.
Jason Jones is one of our pro fighters. He's fighting later this month in New York for his next pro kickboxing fight. So being able to train with all of them, that they're so good at kickboxing, and like sharpening up my striking skills with them has been wonderful to work on. But even on the flip side, we do have a jujitsu program, and I've been rolling with a lot more black belts, brown belts, getting whooped by all means. Like I think one of our brown belts wrist locked me 20 times within 6 minutes. So I was like, that's filthy, but okay. So I
Wow.
mean, yeah, just going to a place where there's so many people that they just do one thing, even though I do multiple, it's helped me get better because again, I'm not as dedicated or able to do this as much as they do, so they're going to be better than me, which is going to make me better in the long run. You know what I mean? So it's been phenomenal, and it's a great gym. Ryan Madigan runs a tight ship. It's a lot of fun there. So
And of course, we definitely got to get a chance to send a shout out to World Kickboxing Academies, shout out to Ryan, shout out to everybody who is a part of this.
mhm.
If you're interested, hey, go be part of an incredible team. If you guys are in, I believe, the Michigan area, correct?
uh, Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio.
Ohio, sorry, wow,
So
my bad.
I mean, I think I'm not originally from Ohio, so I don't take offense because I've always been, for me, the Ohio State Buckeyes and Michigan have been like here for me.
Uh,
And when I moved here, I got a lot of that response. I'm like, well, I guess I can't root for Michigan ever again. So,
you know,
you know,
I probably may get some dislikes if I say this. So the only thing I don't like about Ohio is the Browns and the Bengals because I'm a Steelers fan.
I'm a Packers fan. So I grew up on the West Coast. So I was living out there when the University of Oregon played Ohio State for the Rose Bowl, and everyone out there thought I was a traitor. And I said, I will never root for a duck ever. So like I no.
I mean, I've seen a couple of videos of the Oregon Duck doing some crazy things. I don't know when this was, but he came out to Happy Gilmore's the Bruins jersey and the golf club
Yeah,
doing the animation and just pretend that it knocked out the scoreboard at Oregon. So
yeah.
kind of a
I'm an
bad
Oregon
duck.
State. Yeah, I'm an Oregon State fan. My dad went there. His sisters went there. My brothers went there. Like we are Beaver believers through and through in my house. We always
Well, I
joke you
mean,
couldn't even date a Duck fan. So
well, I mean,
no.
that's like the deal with me. It's like, I live in West Virginia. I've lived here all my life, but yeah, I'm a Virginia Tech fan because my middle's brother was the one that got me into it. So anytime if I would wear my Virginia Tech gear at school or anywhere else at the time, it was just
Mhm.
like, oh, you're a traitor, buddy. I've always been a Virginia Tech fan,
Oh
even if we are having a
yeah,
bad season like we are. So it's just
yeah.
it's the perks of it. It's the perks of it. But of course, something that we're gonna talk about too is that there's always been a great part about training. There's a lot of great things that we love about it. But then again, sometimes there could be the most difficult parts about training. So from your perspective,
Mhm.
what has been the hardest part about training?
Um, some days it's just showing up because there are some days you're tired. I work 10-hour shifts. So there's some days I work 10 hours. I'm like, I just want to go home. And so some days it's just getting there and walking through the door. But once you walk through the door, it's a good day. Um, outside of that, I don't like training around injuries. Like that's not fun. Um, some days there's a lot more conditioning than others. I don't like conditioning. I'll choose a sparring day over, running with the sled. But
That's
yeah,
crazy. That's crazy. But of course, another thing too is that all fighters have to have something to keep themselves motivated. So do you ever have anything that motivates you, whether if it's music, whether if it's yoga? Do you have anything that keeps you motivated?
I don't want to suck. Like I think that's some motivation because again, if people outside, like if I'm wearing a shirt representing my gym or something fight, it's similar to if you wear like a band's t-shirt, people are like name five songs or whatever. Like I feel like that projection's pretty much put on you. And so even I'm not gonna fight anyone in the streets, I wanna I don't know. I forgot where I was going with that train of thought, to be honest.
It's
Just
okay.
having a
It's
Michael
okay.
Scott moment.
I mean that's like
But
like I own
yeah,
a Creed
motivation.
shirt and a Jelly Roll shirt, and it's like you said it
Yeah,
best. It's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, why don't you name five Creed songs? Okay, Higher, My Sacrifice, One, Bullet, and what's his life for? That's another good one.
yeah. Yeah, no, and it's every now and again someone just wants to test your knowledge on stuff. Like there's one time I was at work and I was wearing my gym's hoodie. And someone's like, show me a 1-2. I used to box. And I'm like, why am I gonna shadow box for you? That's weird. And also he was like the age of my dad. So that was also like that's a weird thing to just say to someone because what they're wearing. It was weird. But motivation in general. Also, I think going back to the motivation, because I remembered that was the original question. Coming from being previously morbidly obese, there are times I'll see pictures, I'm like, I never want to go back to that. Like, and I know if I stop training, if I stop doing these things, because I genuinely love it, but I know if I stop for any reason, like, that's a very real thing that I can go back to. Because even when COVID happened, everything shuts down. I was supposed to fight in New York. I don't think we had fully agreed on a weight yet. It was going to be my debut for kickboxing. And the day that we agreed was the day that New York shut down. And I was like, cool. And I was like I think I was around 170 at that time. And so between when everything shut down, I went from 170 ish all the way back to around 200 pounds because everything was shut down. Like I could go to work, I could go sleep, go walk in the park. Walking and hiking's not the same kind of exercise as training is. And so, I mean, I know some people we did some underground stuff every now and again, but you know, yeah, that's another big one. I never want to go back to who I was at that point. Yeah,
I mean, and another thing too, and this is definitely one of my favorite questions I'd love to get a chance to ask because, this sport has made a tremendous, impact not only just as far as physically, but of course mentally. So my question to you is, how
sure.
much has the sport helped you out mentally?
A ton, a ton. Uh, Depression is a real thing. It's not just a big sad, but like the low self-esteem and stuff like that. Because again, plenty of times I hear like, "Oh, you shouldn't be eating that," and all that, all the stuff in general in the head that comes from living in that way for so long. To now, like, oh, hey, I can do these things, and I see like more confidence within myself and a little bit more to be proud of to an extent, and
Yeah.
it's one thing if you've never been in a position where you felt utterly helpless, like you're getting whooped and then you fight through it. Like, if it sounds weird, if you can do that on a mat in practice, you can do it with anything in life. I feel like, there's been plenty rolling with guys 100 pounds heavier than me, stuck. Like, you feel helpless, but then the not giving up aspect of it that you don't allow yourself to do, but even having good teammates and coaches around you to be like, what are you going to do about it? Like, you got to get up, you got to get out, and pretty much anything else in life. Like, You got to decide, am I just going to lay here and let life do me like this, or am I going to like get up and like learn something and grow from it and just move forward, you know?
Yeah, and there's something I definitely want to talk about because this is definitely one of my favorite parts about doing interviews. Is that for anybody that's watching this live or will watch this once when it gets posted, if you're struggling as far as mentally, because I myself I take
Mhm.
medication, I go to therapy, and if you're struggling in any sort of
Yeah.
way, first of all, it's okay to not be okay too. But the thing is, though, is that you don't need to be watching this and eating a bag of chips and surrounding yourself with
Yeah.
things that's gonna end up making it impact as far as the wrong way. So get up, go be a part of a gym, whether if it's at World Kickboxing Academy, anywhere else as far as the country slash world.
Hmm.
Because I will tell you this though, if you're not being loved by your own family, then guess what? Walk into any sort of gym, and even though people may
Hmm.
not understand you as far as the outside, they will definitely know you and understand you as far as the inside.
100%. I actually got therapy in the morning. So it's
Uh,
a real thing. It's very helpful. Like it's hard to get through sometimes, but no, it's true. Like we need each other, we need it. And again, that's one thing that I've had pointed out to me is like sometimes you got to extend yourself the grace that you'll give to others so quickly and freely, you know.
yeah, and you talked about how you looked at past pictures as far as yourself in that way. Well, I have a photo as far as me at that time where I did self harm at the time, and I had this bruise around my eye, and it's kind of making me want to look back on that. It's like I don't want to look back as far as that person because
Yeah,
depression is a real thing, anxiety is a real thing, but yet the biggest thing that I love about doing this though is the fact that you know mental health needs to be talked about in all sports. It's not just in football, it's
for
not
sure.
just in basketball, but I feel like
Yeah.
fighters, don't get me wrong, I love what the UFC is doing. I love what all these big high promotions are doing, but if we can just be able to just take a moment to talk about what
Hmm.
type of impact fighting does to us mentally, then I am sure
Yeah,
we'll meet more people at the gym. I am sure that we'll get a chance to see people we may not have ever even met before, that we can just be able to shine a light because that's something I
hmm,
really look up to as far as what you women do in the cage is you make an impact. You do what you do best. You fight in the cage, but
right,
also you fight with the things that you deal with outside of the cage.
right. Yeah, it's true. Like again, the mental aspect of all of it. Like again, there can be a helplessness feeling sometimes again when you're dead tired in training and stuff like that that I've felt outside of training, you know, and you having to work through it and whatnot. And it, it's a real thing, you know.
It definitely is, and you know what? That's one thing I love about doing this. Is the fact that women like you have made such an impact. And before I do get to my next question, for just get
Mhm,
just to hear your experience and hear your journey, it makes me happy the fact that you're here because I don't care if you're an amateur or not. If you go in there and you fight with
mhm,
everything in you, whether if it's a win, loss, or draw, I don't care what the decision is, that yeah, you definitely deserve a lot of respect. So really and truly, thank you for what you're doing as far as what you're doing for yourself in this sport because we need more incredible
mhm.
women like yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, my dad was one of mine and my siblings' coaches growing up and stuff, and he always told us if you did the very best you could on that day and you gave everything you could, if you won, great, but if you lost, then the other team was just a better team that day or whatever. Like again, if you gave everything, that's all you can ask for, you know?
And that's all you can do. So of course, another thing too is that you get ready to fight coming up in December, but yet it's always the thing that we also need to cross off as far as our goal list, whether if it's a first fight or get ready for another fight or later on down the road a title fight. My point is though, and of course my question to you is, do you have any other goals you would like to get a chance to achieve?
I just want to keep fighting for as long as I can. I'm getting old. So I know it's not a long term thing for myself. I just want to compete as much as I can for as long as I can and have a
Yeah,
fun time doing it, you know, and push
yeah.
myself to be better as an individual and as well as my teammates, you know.
And as you definitely should, as I'm getting ready to post up bring up your fight photo. So pardon me for that. But of course,
No, you're
guys,
good.
we gotta get a chance to hype Miss Becca up. So if you guys have Instagram, social media, make sure you guys go and give her a follow at the journey underscore 205 because one let me tell you all this though. She's just a phenomenal individual. She's just an incredible individual
Thank you.
indeed. And of course, you would go let's get her up to 1,000 followers. Let's get her up to as many
I don't
followers
need
as we
all that.
possibly can. Let's get him up there. And of course, now I finally
Thank
have your fight photo. So, of course, the main reason why we are here is because of this
you. Yeah.
fight coming up. American Fight Promotions is bringing you guys a huge fight coming up on December 6th,
Mhm.
AFP 104. And so, of course, we have a very big fight coming for y'all. And of course, we got to get a chance to show the lightweights some love because there's not
Oh yeah.
enough lightweights in as far as amateur or even professionally, from my add.
Hmm.
And so let me show y'all the fight photo as I finally got it up here. There it is in its glory. You against Megan Austin.
Hmm.
Of course, I know recently you had a fight. So what's going to be your mindset going into this fight coming up in December?
I just want to win. Like I've won in the ring for kickboxing. I haven't won in the cage yet. I want a cage win, and I know this one's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. I know she's really good at jujitsu, and that might be her bread and butter and whatnot. It's gonna be interesting. More of a striker versus grappler type scenario, possibly. I don't know. Maybe she'll want to stand and bang, or maybe we'll take it to the ground. I don't. We'll see. But I'm excited about it. I think
I'm
I'm
definitely
excited
excited.
because it also scares me. I was gonna say I think I'm excited because it also scares me a little bit, and that's kind of how even my ring fights. I was going out to New York, and both of those girls I fought out there were from New York, and so I'm like, oh, this is the hometown people. There's a little bit of fear, and so like that's helping drive this camp too. So
Well, hey guys, once again, it's going to be going down to you guys on December 6th. It'll be live from Euclid. Hopefully, I said that's right. The 2001 Euclid. Hopefully, don't at me on that pronunciation. Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, at the Ned Sports Planet. And guys, if you want to get a chance to follow American Fight Promotions, make sure you guys do so at American Fight Promotions because they're doing incredible things. They're bringing in not only
yeah.
just professional fights, but of course this one talk about the amateur stuff because we got to show the amateurs some love
Mhm.
because they definitely deserve to have their own spotlight because you know what's going to happen once when these fighters do go professionally. It's like they'll understand as far as being on the spotlight. They'll understand what it is to fight in front of a camera, in front of a huge crowd like they're doing right now. So really truly shout out to American Fight Promotions for not only this event, but of course just allowing me and Becca to get a chance to have this interview because we've been having fun and there's just so much that this fighter is doing and you're doing a very very incredible by the way.
Thank you.
I gotta show some love.
So I will say the cat's like scratching at the door, yelling, just like
All
stay
right,
away.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
good. So here we go. Sorry for I talked so much I had to grab me a drink, but of course, are you
No,
ready
you're
for the
good.
final question?
Let's go.
Alrighty. So we all want to be recognized for something that we do in the sport. Me, I just want to be recognized as that one cheesy interviewer giving females the platform that they deserve. But you, as a fighter, you want to be recognized for something different. So my question to you is, what's something you want to be recognized for during your time of fighting?
During my time of fighting, for the night of fights, I want to be one of the best fights that they watch. I want to be exciting. I want to be the ones that even whether I'm the first fight or somewhere in the middle or at the end, like I want people to go home and be like, "What was your favorite one?" At least tied for first. I want to be the exciting fight, so I'll usually walk out to the greatest show from the greatest showman as like that reminder of like this is we're here to put on a show. Like I don't want to be boring. I don't want to do just enough to win. Like I want to be exciting. I want everyone to say like the girls fights, those were the best fights. You know, I think that's a big one.
And I think personally too, it's like you want to be able to show that it doesn't matter how much you weigh, that you can be able to lose all
Mhm.
the weight that you possibly can. But yeah, you can also, as I see your cat's tail in the background.
Yeah,
Which
he
one is
he's headbutting.
that?
This is actually his room. He just lets me stay in it. You good?
I'm-
It's his name's
Oh,
Dunk. His name is Duncan, and he has no teeth. Uh,
oh,
he's an old man. So yeah.
old man Duncan.
Anyway,
I'm like
old
that.
man Duncan.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
But of course, back to what I was saying before I got distracted by Mr. Duncan,
sorry.
is that which I think this may be the first time I've ever been distracted by a cat on live stream interviews. So,
Yeah, it's okay.
but
He pawed the door open, so yeah.
but of course, but back to
Anyway.
what I was saying is though is that I think you want to be able to show that you can lose all the weight you possibly can and still be able to
Hmm.
make a tremendous impact like you are. And I got to
Yeah,
do this because, like I said before, I'm cheesy Jake, but for having you on here, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
thank you. I would say, and even then, like I'm 35. I didn't start and even kind of training until I was 26, going on 27. So even out there, anyone, male or female, if you feel like you're too out of shape or you can't do it because you're in your 30s, it's too late to whatever, just do it. You know, um, only thing that's stopping you is yourself. So, because again,
Yeah,
amateurs, there's plenty. Say West Virginia, I know some people that go out there because Ohio won't sign them athletic commission wise to say that they can fight. West Virginia, anything flies apparently. I don't know,
I mean,
but yeah,
continue, continue, continue.
I was gonna say, but yeah, even that as like a outside of fight night type inspiration. Like I want to be that. I want to help others that come into the gym if they think I could never compete. You can do a grappling tournament. You can do the small things. Just like set it as a goal for yourself. Even if you're amateur and you want to get better at hands, the Arnold Classic, they have kickboxing tournaments and point tournaments and stuff like that that go on all the time. And also local promotions in general. Like reach out to a matchmaker and see what you can do. You just have to get past yourself a little bit.
Yeah. And of course, talk about West Virginia though. I mean, the one thing that I really just kind of wish that we would just have around here, because for anybody who doesn't know anything about West Virginia, is that the only thing we have most of the time is just boxing. Don't get me wrong, I love
Hmm.
boxing, it's fantastic, but I want to see more MMA getting involved. And that's another promotion. If you guys see me tag them, you know who I'm talking about, that does MMA as far as West Virginia. But it's just the problem is though, is like the I wouldn't say the last time, but yeah, the very first time that I watched a MMA event in West Virginia, you probably heard about this story, was a guy got kicked in the ribs or kicked in the kidneys so hard that he
Hmm.
literally crapped all over the cage.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
gross. That's
yeah,
gross.
yeah.
But I mean,
It's literally at a town 40
it's
minutes next to me called Beckley.
yeah,
Eh, Oh my gosh, it was everywhere. It went viral at the time.
that's funny. That's funny, but also gross. And that's one thing that like I hope every state is different. Every athletic commission is different. Ohio has a lot of MMA and is great and is wonderful. They've got a lot of boxing and stuff, but like kickboxing and Muay Thai, I wish we had more of it. From my understanding, I could be completely ignorant, and it's a lot of just the athletic commission, all stuff behind it. Also, it's a lot of money for a promotion to do something, and I know there's been promotions around that have tried to re-kick it up, but also some of it comes down to fan base, and kickboxing's fun to watch.
I mean, and not, but I
But
mean, you also got to think about this though too. Is like you think about states like New York or Florida where you can actually fight in Muay Thai or
yeah,
kickboxing. And I think there was a promotion in Florida that did this. I remember hyping the fight up. It was a Muay Thai title fight for women, and instead of
mhm.
using traditional boxing gloves, they actually used MMA gloves.
Yeah, I know one championship has done that a few times. Is using MMA gloves instead of uh, traditional Thai gloves and stuff like that. But yeah, there. I mean, there's states around us that have more Muay Thai and kickboxing. Um, like we go to New York a lot. We've had guys go down to Florida. We had a whole team go to Delaware not long ago. So it'd be kind of nice if every state had just more of it. Maybe that's just me being selfish,
Nah, I mean, really,
but
truly, it's not really just you being
yeah,
selfish. It's most of the fact that it's like, we want to see different varieties, especially, from both of our states, from both Ohio and West Virginia, because I definitely do agree. It's like, I've lived here all my life, and, it'd be rarely if I even see a MMA fight because, everybody's always talking about what they call tough man, which is like mostly a amateur boxing tournament down here. And
mhm,
it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm okay with that, but I agree with what you're saying. It's like we need more varieties. We need to see some MMA or maybe mostly yet more kickboxing or even Muay Thai. Just to be
yeah,
able to show fan base that there are different types of fighting in many different ways.
right, exactly. And again, I thought of something and I totally forgot it. It's fine. I get hit in the head, so that's what I blame it on.
You gotta blame
Yeah, yeah, it's fine.
Oh man,
Uh,
I tell you one thing though is like I'm really happy the fact that we got a chance to be able to do this interview because you know what, I told American Fight Promotions like whatever girl fight you got, like let if it's okay with them, I would love to interview them. I got a chance to interview Megan this past Friday, and of course you here tonight. So really cool, really and truly, I want to send them one more shout out before we get to your final thoughts and comments, guys. Go and give American Fight Promotions a follow because they have this fight going down coming up in December, and you know what? I think we really need to just be appreciated for what we got, especially with what they're trying to be able to bring for us. I mean, they're bringing in a mixture of both amateur and professional fights. So if you guys want to check that out, go and follow American Fight Promotions. Check out all the information as far as our big event coming up in December.
going back is the amateur thing. I was thinking of because a lot of times people watch the UFC or they'll watch PFL and stuff like that. All those people started as amateurs. Like I know people around here, they watched Stipe and Jessica I fight on local promotions and stuff like that. So like when you go to a local show, you're supporting a local promotion, you're supporting local fighters, you're supporting local gyms, and you're allowing these things to grow. And you might see someone that down the road you see somewhere else. There is a guy that when I first moved to Ohio, we were training at the same gym. He ended up leaving to another gym. It was whatever. But a few years back, he got a last minute replacement call for Dana White's Contender Series. Like, so it's one of those when you watch local, you never know where people are gonna go. But also on the
Yeah,
same card, if you can get, I know Holly and Skyly are fighting on that same card, and I know them. But well, I know Skyly because we fought, and I know Holly because I'm friends with some of her teammates and stuff, and that should be a really good fight too. So.
yeah. Well, of course, while we're at this though, I mean, before we do go, do you have any final thoughts or comments you want to say before we hop off?
No, if you're in the area for Euclid, Ohio, come out, watch the fights. It's going to be a good night of fights. If you're not local, I'm sure there's going to be a pay-per-view. Their pay-per-views are like 20, 25 bucks, something like that. So you're not spending $100, and you can watch some local fights, support, local promotions and stuff like that. So,
And of course, we
yeah.
definitely got to give Becca one another opportunity for you guys to be able to get just to go follow her on Instagram, and it's at the journey underscore 205. Yeah, before we do go, Becca, I definitely do appreciate you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I had fun. I hope you did too. It's been
Yeah,
a
it's good.
phenomenal time. And of course, I definitely wish you the best of luck coming up on December. And I cannot wait to see this fight going down between you and Megan.
Thank you. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited. And thank you for having me. It was a good time. Sorry, Duncan kind of disrupted things for a minute.
Hey, it's okay. I mean, like I said
He-
before, old man Duncan, he's fluffy, so we'll give him a break. We'll give him some slack.
right. It is his house, pretty much. So,
I mean, basically it's your house, and you're just basically just living in it for sure.
exactly. Exactly.
Well, definitely want to thank you, Becca, for the amazing interview, and of course, guys, If you guys look what you see, of course, you want to get a chance to follow me as far as the Fighting Queens, please feel free to do so at the Fighting Queens on Instagram. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure to please subscribe. We have 155 subscribers. We would love for you to be a part of the family because we have so many more interviews to come. Hopefully, some more professional ones. I'm trying to work upon bringing some UFC individuals. I mean, so if there's any suggestions, please send them down in the comment section, and I would love to get a chance to see what I can be able to do. But until then, guys, for Miss Becca, I am Jake saying so long, and we'll see you guys next time. Alrighty.